Hello and welcome back to this session. In this session, we are going to talk about what is export and how to export data using MySQL Workbench. So before going into doing the export, let's understand what is a export. Export is to copy the data or structure of your database to a file. Now, why do we need to do the export? What would be the need? So for example, like if you have a production database in real-time scenario, if you have a production database and for certain your projects or your assignment, you want to test something, you have some test scenario or you have some functionality to be developed and you want to test those functionalities based on the production data, right? So you cannot do the testing in production, of course. So if you have a requirement that you want to pull the production data into your non-production environment, and so that you can do the testing using that structure or that data of your database. So in that case, you would have a need to export the data or a structure of your database to a file. Okay, so that would be a need in the real-time scenario. Now let's go ahead and see how we can do the export in using MySQL Workbench. Okay, so to do that, if you see on the left hand side, I have a database here, SagarDB, and under that you have tables, and I have one table here. Okay, so let's try to export the data of this table. So what you can do is, to do the export, you need to go to server menu and then click on data export. The data export, this page will appear, and then on the left hand side here you can see that object selection. So you will see that whatever the number of databases you have. Okay, schema is nothing but a database. So this is my database, it is showing. So you need to click on the database of which data you want to export. So if you click on this database, on the side you can see the objects of that schema. So I have one table, employee, and I have another view, VW employees. Okay, so I am going to select these. Okay, if you want to select a particular thing, you can like unselect or select. Okay, so I am selecting both the tables objects to export, and then you have an option here. If you see at this drop down, you can say that dump structure and data. So when it say dump, that means it is going to export the data or dump the data or a structure to a file. Okay, so dump structure and data, so both it will export. If you want to just export data, you select dump data only, or if you just want to export the structure, you just select dump structure only. So we'll go with dump structure and data. Okay, there are options like if you have multiple views, then you can select views or tables, whichever you want, or if you want to unselect all, you can just click on this button. Okay, there are few check boxes here like dump stored procedures and functions, events, and dump triggers. If you have those objects created in your database, you can click on that, so it will also be exported. So then there is a option here, export option. So our first option here is export to dump project folder. So it is going to dump the project file into this path. Okay, and then if you click on the other tab here, export progress. Okay, and there is a button start export. So whenever we click on the start export button, it is going to dump the file at this path. Okay, now let's go ahead and start export. It shows the progress, and then it says that at this path the dump has been completed. Okay, let's go to this path and see our file. So you can see here that my employee and the table has been exported successfully. Okay, so this is how you can do the export of your data using MySQL Workbench.